So today is different. I am by myself. I don't have Miss Ansley with me, but I am excited because I have been doing a lot of solo RPGs lately and kind of playtesting some that I've never heard of before. And I've written my own. And so today I was going to kind of go through really quick, not be on like a long time like I have been. Um, and talk about some of the ones that I've done. I'm gonna have like more robust reviews coming out on like my newsletter soon. But I've been doing these because I've been kind of in a creative rut, and I've been having a lot of trouble with staying creative and doing creative things because sometimes it's just like the burden on my mental whatever I have going on in my head, my brain, just the burden of like thinking and creating can be really, really hard, right? And so um solo RPGs tend to be journaling. A lot of them tend to be a journaling RPG. So you essentially come up with a writing prompt based off of the things in the RPG. So the first one that I tried was called Curious Creatures, and I printed out the cover. And I've talked about it before. I had a post about it. This one I think might be my favorite so far. I've had a lot of fun with it. I've written 2 months worth now. The first month was my biologist that I created for the story. The reason I like this is that it helped you create your character a little bit more and the creature that you would be studying, and it gave you like those prompts, which I thought was really helpful because sometimes like they do and sometimes they don't give you like very detailed prompts. So like for example, I'm scrolling back up because it's on my computer. If you're starting, like they tell you like in here, like if you're the biologist, like why did you become it, and they give you some like prompts like why did you become a biologist, how did you discover this creature, like why are you going to study it. And then the idea is that a lot of these utilize a deck of cards, and you utilize the deck to help you generate your prompt so that it can always be different, even if you get like some things that are the same, like maybe you get something like a jack of hearts, right? Like maybe you get that multiple times in different plays of it. You would theoretically, these prompts are built over multiple card draws, so you would end up with a different prompt even if you're using like one card that's the same. So for example, with Curious Creatures, you would it's really only one card pull, but like you pick up your story where you left off. So let's say I pulled up the Jack of Hearts and I scroll through, and I'm sorry I'm not showing you this, but that's okay because if people end up listening to this on podcasts, you're not going to see it. um, the Jack of Hearts says that a potential mate approaches the creature. What does the creature do to impress? What do the creatures do to impress each other, and is it successful? And you can utilize that in different ways, or you could skip it altogether because, like, kind of one of the things that's really great about solo RPGs is because they're GM-less. It's Ansley. I was mentioning you at the beginning. Hi. Um, if you pull something and you've had it before and you don't want to do it again, I mean, it's your journaling prompt. So you can like really like decide whether you really want to do that prompt again or you want to change it. So my Curious Creatures campaign so far has been really fun. And so like I have this creature that I'm following that kind of I want to draw it like a Pokemon. Um he's kind of like a bunny creature with like leaf like fronds that look like ferns for ears and a tail. And it's in like a rainforest, and so like my doctor is like she's going and she's studying it. There's like a lot of deforestation. The first month I did a lot of, for myself because I am a writer, a lot of like backstory, like why she's going. I wrote it more like multiple journal entries over the month. The prompt for Curious Creatures actually kind of more calls for like writing it like you are writing a scientific paper, and I kind of felt awkward about doing that when I'm doing multiple months worth. So I thought maybe more of like a journal that she's keeping. And the first prompt that I had was talking about the creature. You see the creature utilize a tool, and so like I had her first studying the creature, finding the creature, then studying the creature, and realizing it had seen her as well. And so like she saw it use like a rock to like crack open a nut, right, to get the nutty part inside, right, to crack open the shell. But then after that, like when she goes back, she realizes she's been had because she goes to go up in her perch, and she finds shells from the nut, like the creature that the creature that I created is called a fernator, hence the fern fronds. Uh, had left her shells behind. And so she realizes she's been had. She keeps going back. She realizes he's not coming back, he or she. So she has to go find him. And then I don't remember what the second month. The second month is the one I had just started writing. And now, of course, I'm going to go find it. And the second month prompt was she sees it running home, so like eventually she's going to find it running home, but she'll find other creatures with it. um so that's kind of what I've been doing so far with Curious Creatures. And then Sweaters by Hedgehog, one of my friends sent like a lot of different solo RPGs that she utilizes. And I absolutely love this one, but this one feels less like writing. Like, I tried writing this one and doing it like a solo journaling RPG, and I found that for me, really it would be a better like drawing RPG. Like, it gives you a great prompt for like maybe something you could draw, and I was going to include some of the drawings that I've done for them. Um, the concept is really cute though. You're a hedgehog. You own a shop that sells knitwear, and you pull your cards, or actually you, unlike others, you divide your deck into the suits, and you shuffle them up, and you're each pull, so you pull from one from each suit, and it will, I'm trying to flip the pages here, it'll tell you things like the heart tells you the creature type, and the diamonds tell you what your interaction is like. So let's say you pulled a four of hearts as the raccoon, and your interaction was nine of diamonds, and they're a dear friend of yours. How long has it been since you've seen them? So you start with those prompts. Then you go to the spades, and it's what they're looking for. And let's say I pulled the 10 of spades, and they're looking for a sweater in their team's colors. It's important to it's there's an important match tomorrow, but the weather is supposed to be chilly. What team are they a fan of? Is it a local team or a visiting rival? And then clubs will give you your colors. So let's say maybe you need two colors, so you pull two of them, and you're like, oh, it's four of spades is green, and I'm trying to find something the eight of spades is white, and then you create like a sweater. Maybe it's something your character already had knitted. um I think it's a really cute idea. I feel like it's harder to journal it than it would be for Curious Creatures, for example, because Curious Creatures very much relies on the like aspect of you're writing either a scientific paper, or maybe you're writing like your journal logs. You see I feel like when I was a kid, like we always saw like those documentaries that would be about people who were in rainforests or in different forests studying creatures, and they would hold a journal, right? Like, you'd have to like write down your findings somewhere. Um, I feel like Sweaters by Hedgehogs is super super cute, and I totally recommend it. But it feels more like a cute like drawing prompt, or yeah, drawing, sketching, whatever. If you do digital art, those kinds of prompts. But it's super fun. Then I decided this is super fun. And I had had the idea last year to to create my own solo RPG. And I did start, and I do want to rewrite it. The first one that I was creating was going to be based on my in progress fantasy novel. And essentially, it would be like you're the bartender, or you're the owner of this bar in a fantasy town. The bar is called the Infamous Stag, and is like more like interacting with patrons, which I still think I'm going to rewrite and make. But then I thought it would be hilarious, and Ansley, since she's on, knows about this. Um, I was absolutely thinking of the Simpsons episode where Bart breaks his leg, and he's like watching the Flanders house with his or he's watching really the neighborhood through his binoculars, and like trying to like not be bored the entire summer because he broke his leg, and all of a sudden he's seeing these things happen around town, and he's creating these crazy stories in his head. And I thought it'd be hilarious if you had like a solo RPG where you were writing a blog about the neighborhood, and like interconnecting all these little things, and maybe the stories connect together and maybe they don't. And so the idea is that in Nosy Neighbor you are hosting a blog, and um, it's gonna have all the news for, the HOA or your neighborhood or whatever that you're not gonna find anywhere else. I'm so glad that you love Nosy Neighbors. I hope that you are actually utilizing it. And so, like, I wrote it like if you were writing the blog, and I thought that that would be really fun. Like, you're writing like the blog entries. You could even write like the comments that people leave and are like, oh my God, like these are crazy things, or like, oh my God, I totally saw this. And then it's like a new clue and you could add on to it. I think it's hilarious because I feel like I don't know, it's just a funny concept to me. So, like, the idea is, again, you would take, like, your deck of cards. So I have a deck here, and I'm gonna do, like, kind of like a playthrough. I had come up with my own, so because I have started play testing this. So I was calling my blog The Fence Post, and it's by Eves Dropper. And I totally thought absolutely of Samwise Gamgee, ain't dropping no Eves, and Fellowship. Of the Ring, because I think that that's hilarious, because I think I'm funny. I don't think anyone else thinks I'm funny, but I think I'm funny. So the first time I did this, I so I selected, I don't remember what things there in here, but I selected, so you saw the person saw somebody at school dragging something heavy, and I ended up selecting that I needed three more clues, and it was things like a tarp, bleach, and a plunger. And like I need to refine the story, and I kind of want to do it and like post it somewhere or make it like a secret thing. So if you're watching this and you get my emails, um I want to make some of these entries be like secret things. Like if you click this button, and it's going to have like no other thing other than click here for a surprise. If you click this button, you'll be able to read some of my like secret posts. So like the whole idea that I had was that I'm kind of like going through this. So like there was like some like so the idea that I had to reread it, sorry. The idea that I had was that like essentially they thought that somebody at the school was like poisoning the food with like cleaning stuff, and it wasn't true, but like they were hiding the evidence, and it was like so conspiracy theory, like they're hiding the evidence and they're like dragging stuff heavily out on a tarp like at the middle of the night and stuff, and like you don't know what's going on at this school and blah blah blah. And it ends up really being like that they weren't like a kid got sick and threw up and then like something else happened and broke, and like two completely separate incidents happened. So I'm still refining it. So like I thought that I would do another poll and see what crazy conspiracies we could come up with in the neighborhood. So I shuffled my deck of cards. I'm going to split my deck of cards. So for mine right now, and this is still playtest mode, like I have not released this. I do plan to release it. I may make it a free download for anyone who signs up when I get my paid subscriptions up. It will also be up on itch.io once I'm done playtesting it and getting some comments back from people. But the idea is that you pull one card for location, you pull another card for the inciting incident, and then you pull a card to tell you how many additional clues you are going to find, and then what the additional clues are. So like you could pull either two or three additional clues, and then it's broken up essentially by red cards versus black cards. And then the very last thing you can pull is if you're going to do multiple entries, you can pull a card at the end that will determine whether your this incident, this crazy thing that happens, was is an isolated incident or is going to connect to your next incident that you write or that you're talking about. So first we're gonna pull a location. So let's see what location we have. I pulled the 9 of diamonds, and so that would be, so you're seeing something unfold on a security camera, and I do leave it relatively vague, so like you can pick kind of like what um thing will happen once you get to your inciting incident. So like, okay, I should write this down. So it was on a video camera. I'm gonna write this down, video camera. And the inciting incident I'm pulling is the 9 of spades. Um, I'm sorry, for this, it doesn't matter if it's spades or hearts or whatever. The 9, so is a crying person. So somebody's crying and you see it on some sort of a security camera. So I am going to draw a card. So black card means 2 clues, red card means 3 clues. So I pulled a red card, so it would be 3 more clues. So I'm going to pull 1, 2, 3. Oh my God, they're all red. Okay, so they're all red. So we have 3, which is lipstick, 5, which is clothing, and queen, which is new paint. So somehow I'm going to connect, like, I see a crying person on a security camera, and there's something that has to do with clothing, lipstick, and new paint. And so, like, in my head, and if you've got some ideas, drop them in the chat, like, interact. It would be great. If you're live with me, if you're not live with me, you can drop it in a comment. You can drop it in a comment. So what crazy thing could be happening? So, I mean, people could be crying for any sort of reasons, right? So, like, let's say my person was at, where do you see security cameras? Maybe you're like in a, oh, you could be in a store. You know how sometimes you see, like, you can see, like, the camera, like, angle. And sometimes you can see, like, if you're walking into the store, like, maybe you're somewhere else and you can see, like, that there's somebody crying, right? Um, it could be a woman crying. Um, and let's see, lipstick and clothing. Um, she could have, what kind of ripped clothing? Like, ripped clothing, like maybe a button lost. She could have um wrinkled clothing, like she spent the night somewhere. Her lipstick could be like either like off to the side, like it could be like messy. She could be applying lipstick while she's crying. Why are you applying lipstick while you're crying? It could be, oh, she's trying to make herself presentable and calm herself down. What was the other thing that I pulled? It was new paint. New paint. Ooh, she got paint all over her clothing. Maybe she sat down like on a bench and got paint all over her clothing and she's crying. And you see this in the store and you're like, what is going on? But you don't know. So you think she's crying and maybe it's your neighbor. Maybe it's your neighbor and you see that they're crying. You know who they are. And maybe you know something is up. Like, maybe you suspected for a long time that, like, their husband is cheating on them or um, they get into fights with somebody regularly, and then all of a sudden you see them crying. Maybe you don't see the paint at first. Um, Yeah, I mean, obviously, yes, I would believe that she's crying over an affair. Oh, in an elevator. Ooh, freshly painted elevator, and she gets paint on her shirt. She's holding a man. Oh, lipstick on the collar. Oh my God. And then what is it in reality? Like, it could just be she's like, I would cry if I got paint on my clothes, right? Like, I would absolutely cry over that. But like now like now, like if you're that like blogger, like you are like, "Oh my God, this confirms it. Her husband was having an affair," and you're typing about it, and then could you imagine the comments? Like, the back and forth. Like, I feel like it's like the Facebook drama. Like, you're just creating your own Facebook drama, right? Like, um, oh my God. Oh my God. It would be crazy. Um, let's see. Would this connect with our next thing? So I picked all the additional clues, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so then the next card would be, does this connect with, oh, it's her lipstick and she just ruined his big interview. What if it was her lipstick and she accidentally, like, it won't come off and it didn't come off in the wash either? Oh my gosh. And she just ruined his big interview. Did she ruin it because, like, the lipstick was on the shirt? Oh my God. What if it was like the same shade that, like, somebody's like wife uses or whatever? That would be crazy. So let's see. Connections. Will this connect with our next one? We'll do one more. Let's see. Um, I pulled red. Red really means it doesn't connect. But I want to see if it would connect. I'm gonna say yes, it will connect. So this is like where there's the joy of like it being it's GMS, like whatever. Like I can pick. Like I don't like that choice. I'm gonna pick. I'm gonna say yes, it's going to connect. So let's see. The next location, I'm not shuffling again because I don't want to put those cards back in. And since this is mostly like red or black, I'm just yeah, it's fine. Okay, so I picked 10. So this next one's at a restaurant. Oh, see, this one's at a restaurant. So this could connect very easily. Okay, so we're at a restaurant. 6. There's a dog barking. That starts it. So maybe the dog barking gets you to look somewhere that you wouldn't normally be looking. Additional clues. Okay, I'm gonna like split this deck. I did a bad job of like shuffling this, I feel like. It's red, so red is 3 more clues. We have black card finally. 4 clubs, King of Hearts. I left the jokers in because Sweaters by Hedgehogs requires the jokers. Mine doesn't require jokers. 4 of Hearts. Okay, so we have. I'll do the hearts first because I'm on that page. So 4 of Hearts is a strange smell. King of Hearts is water puddles. And the 4 of clubs is bleach. Interesting. I said maybe this would connect. So we have a dog barking. You're at a restaurant or a bar, and we have a strange smell. We have water puddles, and we have bleach. So, what could be happening that causes you to like have to write stuff down? Like, what is happening? Maybe it's outside the bar. Like, maybe you're at the bar. Maybe you see the same woman and she's got the shirt again and she's still crying. Like you see her like later in the day. Maybe she's not crying anymore. Maybe she's like got like the tear stains, right? And like you're making a blog update and you're like, oh my God, Miss Smith or whatever was at the bar at lunchtime. And I mean, the strange smell could be the bleach. Like maybe this bleach is the strange smell, and maybe she's trying to bleach the lipstick out of the shirt. Maybe she's trying to hide some sort of evidence. Like you think she's trying to hide some sort of evidence. Well, why would she be hiding it? Because, like, I don't know. Why do you think she's hiding it? She could be also trying. Maybe she maybe you think she's framing her husband so that her husband could get in trouble somewhere like that. No, that wouldn't make sense. Let's see. Strange smell. The dog is barking. Is the dog barking at her? Is like somebody what if she has a dog and it is barking at somebody else who you think like knows the neighbor and you think is the one that is having the affair with her husband. Oh my god, the craziness. Um, and you never would have seen and so like at the time, like you see her like trying to like bleach away the evidence and then like hides it. What was the other thing I had? Oh, puddles. Puddles. How are we gonna incorporate the puddles into this? Um the puddles. Hmm. Hmm. Is the dog hers or is the dog another woman who's walking on the street and there's maybe a puddle of bleach and like you as the blog writer think that she put the bleach there on purpose to make the dog sick, but really it's because she's trying to clean the shirt and she can't get it clean because she's sitting outside like trying to clean the shirt from the lipstick and like trying to talk and then like be nice to this woman and you think that she's just being fake nice, but she's not being fake nice. She is being real nice. Um, and it's just a whole huge like you think it's a conspiracy that she's trying to like get back at this woman, but she's really not trying to get back at that woman. I don't know. What do you guys think? If you guys have some ideas, I would like you to put them in the comments. I would also like to know what your thoughts are on this nosy neighbor idea. The dog's name is Puddles. Oh, there you go. In my world, this would be a huge dog, a Great Dane or something. I like that. I do like that. Puddles is actually a good name for a dog, so like that would make sense. Um, I don't know. Would you guys play this? I know the person who's on live with me here, which is Ansley, would play this because she is also playtesting it for me. Um, I'm curious what other types of like solo RPGs you guys would play. I'm thinking like of writing a couple new other ones besides this. Um, but this has been so much fun so far. I can't wait to revise it a bit, um, get some get it out there for you guys to try and play, and let me know what you think. Um, and what your ideas are about like solo RPGs, if you play them, what kinds you like to play. I haven't started any yet other than, where did it go? The only other one that I've played that is not, it's not really RPG, but it's more of a solo game, is a dice game, which is called 96. Um, there are some solo RPGs that are more like your standard RPG where you are questing. I have some to play, but I have not played them yet. But my next foray is actually going to be a bigger one, which is called Bramble Trek, where you are kind of like exploring a forest, and it's more of like your kind of normal RPG where you can get into battles and stuff. It is still journaling though, so I will be playing that too and releasing my thoughts on that. And I am going to be backing the new one that just came out on Kickstarter and is already like fully funded, like mad crazy, and it's actually Winnie the Pooh themed. So I'm very excited for that. But if you like the idea of nosy neighbors, I hope you will leave a comment. You will check back and either check it out when it is released on itch.io or up on my maybe subscription base. Maybe. I don't know. But thank you guys for joining, and hopefully you watch this later if you were not on the live, and I will see you guys later. Bye!